It started as just another ordinary day. I was rushing to meet my friend, Jake, for lunch in downtown. As I approached him on the bustling sidewalk, I remembered all the times he joked about the shadow that followed him. "It's my personal stalker," he'd say with a grin. I laughed it off every time, thinking it was just another one of his quips. But that day, as I caught up to him, something in the air felt different, charged, almost electric. I shook off the feeling and waved at him, but then froze as I noticed something behind him, a shadow, darker and more defined than any other on the pavement. The truth is, I wouldn't have paid it much attention if it hadn't moved independently. Jake's shadow seemed to stretch and then, impossibly, lifted its hand in a slow, deliberate wave back at me. My heart skipped a beat, and I stumbled, trying to rationalize what I was seeing. Was it a trick of the light or some bizarre optical illusion? I quickly fell into step beside Jake, trying to ignore the thudding of my heart. "Did you see it?" I whispered urgently. Jake just chuckled, a sound that seemed eerily detached from his usual carefree self. "It's been getting bolder," he replied, almost as if he was talking about a stray dog. Over the next few days, I found myself watching Jake more intently, or rather, watching his shadow. It was always there, shadowing his every move, but now it seemed to have a life of its own. It lingered longer than it should, stretched in unnatural angles, and sometimes, when Jake wasn't looking, it seemed to glance at me. One night, as we sat in a dimly lit cafe, I noticed it again, only this time, it wasn't alone. The shadows of the small cafe seemed to converge, whispering secrets in a language I couldn't understand. I shivered, feeling a cold dread creep up my spine as Jake continued to talk about mundane things, oblivious to the dark ballet happening behind him. It all came to a head one rainy evening. Jake and I were caught in a sudden downpour, the streets emptying as people scurried for cover. We dashed under an awning, laughing breathlessly. But then, as the rain poured down, I saw it. Jake's shadow, distinct and stark against the wet ground, began to move independently, as if peeling away from him. It stretched, morphing into a looming figure that turned towards me with a sinister intent. Jake's laughter died in his throat as he finally noticed, his eyes wide with terror. "I think it's time we stopped pretending," he said, voice trembling. And at that moment, I realized with chilling clarity that the shadow wasn't just following Jake, it was hunting him, and now, perhaps, it was hunting me too.